It was a gray, rainy Friday evening when she looked me dead in the eyes and said, "Don't wait for me." Her voice was flat, almost bored, like she was asking me to take out the trash. I sat on the edge of the couch, trying to keep my expression still while my heart crumbled under the weight of the suspicions I'd been swallowing for weeks. Her phone had been lighting up constantly. Her schedule made no sense. Her affection had gone cold. I knew something was off. I just hadn't wanted to admit it. But those 4 words were more than a casual statement. They were confirmation. I watched her walk out the door, umbrella in hand, heels clicking softly against the hallway tile. She didn't look back. Not once. The door shut behind her like the last line of a story I never wanted to read. The apartment was so quiet, almost hummed. I sat there for a while, staring into the kind of silence that wraps around your bones. Then I walked to the kitchen, opened a beer with shaking hands, and sat alone in the dark. Her laptop was open on the dining table. She must have been in a rush. I didn't want to look. I knew I shouldn't. But something pulled me toward it, like my heart needed the truth written in black and white to match the ache I couldn't explain. Her inbox was right there. No password, no attempt to hide it. The top thread was from someone named Jay. I clicked it. What I found hit harder than any punch. There were messages full of flirtation, room bookings at downtown hotels, timestamps that matched the night she claimed she was working late. And there were photos, low-res selfies, smiles that weren't meant for me. She had been gone long before she ever spoke the words. I leaned back in the chair, numb. There was no scream, no smash glass, no angry call. Just a quiet storm inside me. Rage, sorrow, humiliation all colliding at once. But strange as it sounds, what I felt most was relief. I wasn't imagining things. I hadn't lost my mind. My instincts had been screaming at me, and I'd been gaslighting myself into silence. But now, the proof was right there. Undeniable. She'd already walked out the door, and now I was ready to do the same. I stood up, walked to the bedroom, and calmly packed a bag. Nothing more than the essentials, clothes, toiletries, some important documents. I laid my keys on the kitchen counter, grabbed a pen, and wrote a single sentence on a sticky note. No need to wait for me either. I'm done. By midnight, I was on the highway with no real destination, just a need to leave. With every passing mile, I felt a little lighter. The pain didn't vanish, but it began to shift, like layers of poison peeling off my skin. I drove until my eyelids grew heavy and pulled into a faded little motel off the road. I lay in that creaky bed and stared at the ceiling for hours, memories flickering like static behind my eyes. Our first date, the way she used to light up when she laughed, the future we planned. All of it felt like a beautiful lie. Or maybe the truth had always been there, and I just refused to see it. The next morning, my phone buzzed. Missed calls, texts, all from her. "Where are you? We need to talk. Please come home." "I'm sorry." I didn't reply. What was left to say? Her apologies couldn't glue together what she had shattered. I didn't want answers. I already had them. Her choices spoke louder than any explanation ever could. I found a temporary place to stay through a friend. It wasn't much, but it was quiet. I began rebuilding my life, piece by piece. She kept reaching out for a while, pleading, explaining, begging, but I never answered. I didn't want revenge. I didn't need to destroy her reputation. I just wanted distance. Let her live with her own decisions. That would be punishment enough. Eventually, the messages stopped. The silence returned. But this time it was clean. It was mine. I found a new rhythm. Woke up without dread. Ate in peace. Slept without wondering if I'd be lied to again. And slowly I started to feel like myself. Who I was before the deception, before the gaslighting, before love turned cold. Sometimes I think about that night. How her words, meant to dismiss me, became my turning point. Don't wait for me. So I didn't. I left that night, and I never looked back. Not because I was weak, but because for the first time in a long time, I remembered who I was, and I knew I deserved better. She made her choice, and I made mine.